Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rebel Racing Network and the National Outlaw Racing Association Cup Series. I'm your commentator tonight, Austin Householder. We are coming to you live from the virtual Chicagoland Motor Speedway, a mile-and-a-half oval located just outside of Chicago, Illinois. And qualifying is underway. Four drivers have set a time so far. Right now, we have Tristan Haynes sitting on the pole. And this is a big race for these drivers, especially those up front. We are only 2 races away from the playoffs here. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at our standings. Just a second. All right, and a live look at our standings. These are the top 12 drivers. These are the guys that are in the playoffs right now as it stands. In first place, we have Tyler Street, Dawson Price sitting in second place, Christian Delgado in third, Stephen Blevins in fourth, and Seth LaCroix rounding out your top 5 in points. Now, the drivers on the bubble, we currently have Justin Day in 11th with 962 points and Joshua Edmonds in 12th with 954 points. But they are in, but Christopher Foote is knocking on the door right now with a total of 948 points. He sits in 13th. Steven Linger also knocking on the door in 14th with 939 points. So this race for the playoffs is starting to heat up, folks. Also going to look at our rookie of the season standings here. Christian Delgado is running away with that competition with a total of 1,233 points. He's got over a 100-point lead over second place Stephen Blevins. We currently have 11 drivers who have set a time so far. Correction, 12. Tristan Haynes still sitting atop that leaderboard. Dawson Price now in second. Joshua Edmonds in third. But Seth LaCroix is now on track. Take a look at his qualifying run. He has just laid down his first lap, and he is in turn 2, looking for a better time, trying to get up on the front row. What is going on, Sunk? Motocross Mom, glad to have you back. Rooting for the veteran, well, now the Apex Racing team, as well as Average Joe's. You see Seth LaCroix diving down onto that apron, trying to shave off a few 100ths of a second. Not the qualifying run he was looking for there, though. He currently sitting in 9th. And it looks like the only car that has yet to qualify right now is Christopher Foote in that 21 car. And now 6 minutes into this qualifying run. Only 4 minutes left. He has got to get on track and lay down a time here. Once again, Christopher Foote trying to race his way into the playoffs. right, and we are going to head down trackside for our opening ceremonies presented by URA Flyovers. At this time, please stand as you are able, remove your hats, place your hand over your heart, and veterans render a hand salute as the United States Marine Corps Band performs our national anthem. All right, and we are back, folks. It looks like all these qualifying runs are complete. We mentioned Christopher Foote not taking the track for qualifying, and it does not appear he is going to make his way on track here. So he is going to have to start from the rear in 17th position. Once again, 17 cars starting this race tonight. Christopher Foote going to have to drive to the front if he wants a shot at making the playoffs here. We will be keeping an eye on him all night. All right, and with that, the drivers are making their way to the starting grid. We're going to go ahead and run through our official starting grid. And taking the pole tonight will be that 99 of Tristan Haynes. His outside will be Dawson Price in the 74 car starting in second. Joshua Edmonds going to roll off in third, driving the number 17. In fourth place, we have Justin Day driving the number 1 car. Tyler Street will roll off fifth, driving the 4 car. Tyler's outside will be the 56 of Samuel Reed. Joseph Miller will start 7th, driving the 16 car. In 8th will be the 43 of Terrell Wheeler. Seth LaCroix going to roll off 9th in the 29. Christian Delgado rolling off 10th, driving the 13 car. Stephen Blevins will start 11th, driving the number 51. Brian Day will roll off 12th in the 70. Byron Gay will roll off 13th in the 20. Mike Hill is going to roll off 14th, driving the number 27. Starting 15th will be the 91 of Steven Linger. Chris Jones will be starting 16th, driving the number 6. And Christopher Foote, once again, he is going to round out the field in 17th after opting not to qualify here. All right. And a quick update on the rules for tonight's event. These drivers are given 4 sets of tires, 75% fuel, and 1 quick repair. And a look at our weather today. Temperature 70 degrees out. Winds are out of the northeast at 13 miles per hour. It is clear. Humidity's at 89%. But that track temperature is at a whopping 109 degrees with that sun shining down on it. That is going to make it slick. We were watching these drivers through practice, and we saw a lot of drivers sliding through the infield. Be something to keep our eyes on as this race goes on. All right, and the pace car is off. Tristan Haynes leading him down to the green flag. Green flag is out, and they are off. Tristan Haynes and Dawson Price neck and neck. We see Dawson Price on that high side getting the nose out in front of Tristan Haynes early here. Oh, Tristan Haynes out of shape there. See Joseph Miller going off track. Big mistake for Tristan Haynes. He's going to drop all the way back to 7th there, but we will stay green. So Dawson Price out there in first has already extended that lead to almost a second, 0.7 of a second lead for Dawson Price. Justin Day in second, Samuel Reed in third, Tyler Street in fourth, and Christian Delgado rounding out your top 5. You see that 99 of Tristan Haynes trying to make his way back up to the front here. He battles with Terrell Wheeler. We're going to go back, watch that restart there again. Just keep your eye on that 99 of Tristan Haynes. We see Tristan Haynes just getting sideways. He gets loose. Joshua Edmonds does a great job of trying to avoid that, but unfortunately ends up in the outside wall. It looks like Joshua Edmonds was the big loser there. Joshua Edmonds dropping all the way back to 13th. And the problem's just continuing for Joshua Edmonds. He's getting loose. Caution is out. And I think going into that caution, the steering has been damaged on that 17 car. The toe has been bent, and we see it there. He's just having trouble trying to keep that car under control as he tries to limp his way back around a pit road. He's going to have to use a quick repair here early on. So let's go back, look at it, see him get loose there. 27 of Mike Hill just has nowhere to go, gets into him. You see it there. It's just that car is just trying to pull to the right, and he is fighting to keep that thing straight. Even here at pace speeds, a lot of damage to that steering. And Michael Jordan, you are right. That slick track makes it interesting. We've already seen that the slickness of the hot track. You know, the slickness of the hot track claim multiple drivers here early on. Byron Gay coming down pit road early here, as well as the 27 of Mike Hill. Mike Hill, he was the one who got into Joshua Edmonds a lot of front end damage. We're going to go look at that restart one more time. Keep your eye on Joshua Edmonds. We see Tristan Haynes. He gets loose there. Joshua Edmonds moves up to the high side, trying to keep that car under control. And just smacks the outside wall. A lot of front end damage on that 17. We see it there. He's fighting to keep it straight there. Now, a quick rundown on the field. Dawson Price has moved to first after Tristan Haynes getting loose there on the first lap. Justin Day in second. Tyler Street in third. Samuel Reed in fourth. Christian Delgado rounding out your top five. Jarrell Wheeler will restart sixth. Tristan Haynes restarting seventh. Seth LaCroix in eighth. Stephen Blevins in ninth. And Brian Day will round out your top 10 here. All right, they're doubled up. Lights on the pace car are out. We will go back green flag racing this time by. The pace car dives off. Green flag is out. Dawson Price takes off. Tyler Street looking to advance his position here. He's gotten to the inside of Justin Day on that restart, working that low line. And Chicagoland's the kind of racetrack where you have multiple grooves you can run. Tyler Street on that low line, though, is going to make that work for him. Once these cars are up to speed, though, the top line is typically preferred here at Chicagoland. Tyler Street looking to close that gap with Dawson Price. I do apologize about that. My computer decided to pop that up for no reason. Now we see Tyler Street getting sideways. He is really loose. He tries to save it. Caution is out. Tyler Street pushing that car probably just a little bit too hard. Take another look at that. And Seth LaCroix is going to go for a ride through the infield there. Looking at 29, he goes out of his way to avoid Tyler Street. He gets sideways through the infield, but he is going to keep that car off the wall, so he will live to fight another day here. So we've already got some takers on pit road. Tristan Haynes, Terrell Wheeler, Seth LaCroix, Christopher Foote, and Joseph Miller going to head down pit road here. Tyler Street will join them as well. So this is our second caution of the night coming out here on lap 11. You can see the desperation some of these drivers have trying to make the playoffs. Once again, only 2 races remaining in the regular season before the playoffs start. And we see a lot of drivers pushing their cars hard early on, looking for that track position. Once these tires get warm, it should be a little bit easier to keep these cars under control, even with the slick track and the high temperatures today. But we saw Tristan Haynes get sideways on lap 1. Now Tyler Street trying to catch up to Dawson Price, push that car just a little bit too hard. Bring out that caution, and Tyler Street is currently sitting first in points with 2 wins. They are doubled up. Lights on the pace car are out. We are getting ready to go back green flag racing here. Pace car is off. Green flag is out. We are back. And Michael, we do have 100 laps here tonight. Dawson Price taking the lead here early. Christian Delgado has moved to second place. Samuel Reed in third. They're sorted out at the front of the field. They get single file early on here, but in the back they are still 2 by 2. We see some of those fast guys trying to make their way up to the front. Tristan Haynes taking it 3 wide in between Mike Hill and Steven Linger. Seth LaCroix tried to follow there, but that hole is closed up. LaCroix going to move down to the bottom as Mike Hill moves up to the top of the track. LaCroix making that bottom line work for him. Check it back in with Christopher Foote. He's currently up to 12th after starting in the back. Going back up to the front, Dawson Price still our leader. Christian Delgado, though, trying to close that gap. You've got to keep an eye on this 13 car. He has won the most races throughout the season. Currently sitting in third in points and trying to take over that first spot. He has about 70 points to catch up to Tyler Street and take over the first in points. Going back to check in with Seth LaCroix. He has just picked off Brian Day in that 70 car, and he's got his sights set on the 99 of Tristan Haynes. Tristan Haynes running that top line here. So we are now single file for the most part. We see Byron Gay looking to put the pressure on Brian Day, though. I tell you what, those names are going to get confused and running right next to each other. You see Byron Gay electing not to go down on the apron there. They cross the start and finish line. And Gay is there on the top side. He's gotten alongside Brian Day. They battle it out for 7th. And Byron Gay will complete the pass. Brian Day about to feel even more pressure from Stephen Blevins in that 51 car. Blevins going to complete that pass as well. Blevins continuing the charge here. He has already gotten alongside Byron Gay. Byron Gay smacks the outside wall. That's going to allow Stephen Blevins to get on by him. We see a car out of shape. Christopher Foote gets into him, back in the pack. We see Byron Gay going around there as well. So first we're going to go check in with Byron Gay. We saw him he gets loose there, goes for a ride through the infield. Able to keep that car from hitting anything. But Christopher Foote is the one we want to keep an eye on here. That was the 16 of Joseph Miller getting out of shape in front of Christopher Foote. And Christopher Foote just had nowhere to go. As pit stops have begun here, looks like Samuel Reed, Seth LaCroix, Mike Hill, and Tyler Street going to stay out. The rest of the field going to come down pit road. Once again, we are only 25 laps into this. Only a quarter of the way through. And once these guys get going, it seems to get a little bit easier on these guys to keep those cars under control. As long as those tires don't go away, you've got to take care of your tires here with such a slick track. Definitely look for these guys who have just taken fresh tires to be quick here tonight. Tristan Haynes, the leader of the cars on fresh tires. I would expect to see him make quick work of these top four once we get back going. We're going to step aside for a quick commercial break.
Do you love Orlando's theme parks, but the long lines have you losing the magic? Introducing Ride Waits, the Apple Watch app designed to help you skip the stress and ride more, with real-time wait times and park info right on your wrist. Whether you're exploring Walt Disney World, adventuring through Universal Orlando, or taking it all in at SeaWorld, Ride Waits helps you navigate smarter and get the most out of your visit. No more wandering, no more guessing, just more riding. And it's not just wait times. Ride Waits also offers tips on the best times to ride, general park info, and helpful alerts so you never miss out on your favorite attraction. Whether you're planning ahead or making game day decisions in the park, Ride Waits keeps everything you need at a quick glance away. Ride Waits, your wrist-side guide to the best parks in Orlando. Available now on the Apple Watch store.
Not affiliated with or endorsed by any theme park brand.
All right, and we are back now, folks. They are doubled up. Lights on the pace car are out. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing. Samuel Reed is your leader. Seth LaCroix to his outside in second. Mike Hill in third. Tyler Street in fourth. Tristan Haynes rounding out your top five. And the pace car is off. Green flag is out as they go through the restart zone. Samuel Reed going to get the jump on Seth LaCroix. Seth LaCroix immediately moving down to the middle of the track, trying to protect both lanes. Going to go right back up to the high side, though, try and gain some speed. Tyler Street and Seth LaCroix get single file, although Street is feeling the pressure now from Christian Delgado. But here comes that 99 of Tristan Haynes. Tristan on those fresh tires. And we've got a battle for the lead. Seth LaCroix has gotten to the outside of Samuel Reed. LaCroix looking to go to the point position. And LaCroix will clear Samuel Reed, but Samuel's not done battling it yet. Christian Delgado's looking to his outside. Samuel Reed going to fall back to third as Delgado goes by. We've got a battle for fifth back here. Dawson Price has gotten to the inside of Tristan Haynes. This isn't what we expect to see out of Dawson Price and Tristan Haynes. We expected to see these guys on fresher tires be able to advance their position pretty quickly here. Those tires are cooler, so you've got to give them a few laps to warm up before you get all the grip that you want out of them. But we expected them to be able to go to the front pretty easily on these cars that are on 25-lap old tires. Donald Bussier rooting for his son Joshua Edmonds and Seth LaCroix. Seth LaCroix still out front there. Not letting Christian Delgado close that gap with them. A quick update. We do have two lap down cars. Byron Gay and Christopher Foote is out of this one. Checking in with Mike Hill. We saw him up at the front earlier on, but he is dropping here, getting the pressure from that 43 of Terrell Wheeler. In trouble. That is the 51 of Stephen Blevins going around here, bringing out our 4th caution of the night here on lap 33. Stephen Blevins going to have to tow back to the pits. Looks like Chris Jones was also caught up in that. Our 4th caution of the night. We're going to go see what happened. Here you see Stephen Blevins. He gets out of shape and just sends that car around. Terrell Wheeler, Mike Hill getting into him. Looking at Chris Jones here as well. Chris Jones does a great job of avoiding the initial wreck, but when he comes back up onto the track, he's just not ready. Loses control and goes up into the outside wall. I'm going to ride along with Chris through this. Now Seth LaCroix going to come down pit road, joined by Tyler Street, Samuel Reed, Justin Day, Brian Day, and Stephen Linger. Terrell Wheeler, Stephen Blevins, Chris Jones, all being shown the meatball flag. I do believe they may have had to have used a fast repair earlier on. Their nights might be over here. And Joshua Edmonds fans in the chat still rooting on him. Edmonds is up to 5th, back in the top 5 for that 17 machine. Tell you what, here, looking at some of these damaged cars, looks like Terrell Wheeler, Stephen Blevins, Chris Jones might be out of this one. We are down to 13 cars now as they get doubled up. Lights on the pace car are out. Christian Delgado is our leader. Tristan Haynes in 2nd. Dawson Price in 3rd. Joseph Miller in 4th. And Joshua Edmonds rounding out our top 5. Mike Hill in 6th. Seth LaCroix in 7th. Samuel Reed in 8th. Stephen Linger in 9th. And Tyler Street rounding out your top 10. And the green flag is out. We are back racing. Christian Delgado taking off here. Dawson Price looking to go to 2nd. Hunter Geyer entering the chat. wanting everyone to get together for some clean racing here. And they're going to get single file here early on. With the exception of that 56 of Samuel Reed and Tyler Street there. They're both looking to advance their positions. Tyler Street going underneath Samuel Reed there. A clean pass for that 4 car. Go back to the front of the pack. Christian Delgado opening up that lead over Dawson Price in the 74. 0.3 of a second between the two. Tristan Haynes, though, does not want to go away. He is currently sitting in third after his first lap mishap. Seth LaCroix looked like he was loose. He is off the pace there. Joseph Miller going around him. Edmonds looking to join, but Seth LaCroix able to get that car under control. LaCroix going to battle back here. We saw him bobble there, a slip up there, but he has gotten back under control and back up to speed. And it looks like the trouble has continued for Chris Jones. He taps the outside wall. He's going to go for a ride through the infield on the backstretch. Checking in with S17 of Joshua Edmonds. He's fallen off the pace. Lost Joseph Miller and has fallen victim to Tyler Street. Tyler Street is a man on a mission here. Across, Mom. I did not. I was planning on doing that tomorrow night. We have Seth LaCroix looking to advance his position. He's gotten alongside Tristan Haynes and battling for third. LaCroix is there. Tyler Street looking to join the battle here as well. LaCroix, he's had a really fast car here. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with if he can get back up to the front. And we see Seth LaCroix getting loose there again, coming off of turn 2. The exit of turn 2 has proved to be treacherous here tonight. Tyler Street going to get around LaCroix and is now looking to the inside of Tristan Haynes. Battle continues. Tyler Street on that low line. Tyler Street going to complete the pass. Seth LaCroix going to follow suit. So LaCroix going back to fourth here. Tristan Haynes not going away just yet. And LaCroix getting loose there again off of turn 2. Pushing that car just a little bit too hard. Michael Jordan looking for some 3-wide action. It is not anywhere to be found at this point in time, though. Everyone has gotten single file as we pass the halfway point. We watch these two leaders. They have taken off. They have left the field behind. A second between them and Tyler Street back there in third. But Dawson Price not going anywhere. Wants to keep the pressure on Christian Delgado. Not wanting to let up. All it takes is one mistake. If there is a mistake, it's probably going to happen out of turn 2. We have seen that be a problem for so many drivers here tonight. War-torn Chuck entering the chat, as well as James Price saying Apex is looking good. And I will say this, Apex does seem to be looking good here tonight. Dawson Price sitting there in second. Seth LaCroix, though, struggling with the exit of turn 2. He has dropped back to 7th here. He was oversteering before. There you saw him kind of understeer, get into that outside wall, just give it a little bit of a tap. And yes, turn 2 is extremely slick here tonight. Those track temperatures not helping. And Edmonds in trouble. 17 of Joshua Edmonds. Ran into an issue there. Let's go back, take a look, see what happened. You saw Joshua Edmonds slide up there in front of Joseph Miller. It looks like he was getting loose at the same time. Joseph Miller just gives him a tap in the back, moves him out of the way. That was dangerous. It could have been 10 times worse for that 17 car. But he is able to keep it straight and get that car back on track. So Edmonds dropping back to 8th. Seth LaCroix moves up to 6th. Christian Delgado and Dawson Price still in control of this one. Tyler Street continuing to lose ground. He was making his way up through the pack. Looking at the one of Justin Day, not having the night he is looking for. He currently sits back there in ninth with his brother Brian Day right behind him. Go back and look at the 56 of Samuel Reed. He's had some issues here tonight as well. Currently sitting in seventh, though. He has recovered nicely. Joshua Edmonds looking to catch back up, make up that ground he lost with that incident getting loose there. Once again, that was coming off a turn 2 as well. Going back to Tristan Haynes, he qualified on the pole, had that first lap incident, and he appears to be a little bit off the pace as Joseph Miller's starting to close back in with him. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break.
It's race day on iRacing. The grid is set. Engines are rumbling. The chat is buzzing. The anticipation is building. But before the green flag waves, you need a moment that gets hearts racing. Hoorah Flyovers delivers cinematic, custom airplane flyovers for your iRacing or esports event, bringing real-world energy to your virtual track. Add a patriotic punch to your pre-race show. Whether you're hosting a league championship, a memorial race, or just want to hype the crowd, Hoorah brings the thunder. Fully customizable, easy to book, stream ready, guaranteed to get your drivers and fans fired up. Because when the jets fly, everyone pays attention. Stand tall, fly loud, race proud. Hoorah! Visit Hoorah Flyovers on Discord or Facebook and bring the flyover experience to iRacing like never before. At FedUps, we don't care how it gets there, just that it eventually does. We use cutting-edge technology like guesswork, blind rage, and the occasional coin flip. Need help? Our customer service is standing by to put you on hold. Our drivers are trained professionals in rage quitting, road rage, and minor parkour. Have an issue? Hey, we delivered it, didn't we? At FedUp, we're not happy until you're not happy. Special instructions? I ignored it specifically. Signature required? We'll scribble something. Fragile? Let's test that theory. Customer service? Try screaming into the void. FedUp, we hate your package almost as much as you do.
FedUps is not responsible for damaged, late, lost, or completely incinerated.
All right, and we are back, folks. A quick update. Seth LaCroix in that 29 car has pulled down pit road. Getting that car serviced. 10 seconds in the pit stall for him. He is going to fall a lap down. Michael Jordan say he loves the Hoorah Flyovers. We appreciate it. Once again, Hoorah Flyovers, they are the only ones in the game making pre-race flyovers and opening ceremonies. So make sure you hit them up on Facebook if you are a league owner, a broadcaster, or just someone who wants to bring something extra to their league. Once again, they can make any custom flyover you would like for your broadcast. So LaCroix only one lap down here. Hit it on lap 64. Now into lap 67. Early pit stop for LaCroix. Not sure if there was an issue with that 29 car or that was just planned to be able to make it to the end. Once again, everyone last pitted on lap 34 for the most part, with the exception of Christian Delgado and Dawson Price, who currently lead this one, even on those old tires. Dawson Price now coming down pit road as well. Tyler Street will move to second. Joshua Edmonds joining him as well. So it does appear that that was a planned pit stop by Seth LaCroix. He will be able to make it to the end on this run. Quick update, he is running about a half-second faster lap. We have not seen the tire fall off here that we expected. Christian Delgado now pulling down pit road as well. Tyler Street's still there on pit road. LaCroix, a little bit of pit strategy, trying to make his way back up to the front after some slip-ups coming off of turn 2. He can make that time back up. That could relieve some of that pressure. Maybe he won't have to push quite as hard and not get loose coming off of that turn. We saw him get loose multiple times throughout this one. Some costly mistakes trying to push that car harder to try and make a pass. Michael Jordan saying green flag pit stops always shake it up down the line. Yes, they do. Especially here in iRacing. That entrance and exit to pit road, especially under green flag conditions, not something you're going to get to practice a whole lot when you do official races. And even league races, just it's a little bit harder to drive these simulated race cars than it is a real race car, because you cannot feel the G-forces and feel what that car is doing. So it is very easy to make mistakes getting on and off pit road if you are pushing it as hard as it can. So what we see is a lot of drivers tend to slow it down more than they need to make sure they can get on and off safely. Tristan Haynes now our leader. LaCroix has gotten his lap back. Currently sitting behind Christian Delgado and Dawson Price. He was able to move up in front of Tyler Street, though. Once these pit stops cycle through, Tristan Haynes now coming down pit road. Looks like Seth LaCroix is going to look like a genius. He was back there in, I believe it was 7th after a mistake coming off of turn 2. That pit stop potentially going to salvage a top 3 out of this for him. Now the race being led by the 70 of Brian Day. He is staying out here. Once again, Day last pitted on lap 34. Correction, Seth LaCroix moving up to 5th. Stephen Linger Brian and Justin Day going to come down pit road here. And we'll give up that position back to Christian Delgado. Christian Delgado going to take over the lead here. 6 seconds between him and Seth LaCroix, though. LaCroix running just a couple hundreds faster than Christian Delgado for the time being. We are all spread out. Traffic should not be a factor for these guys. Potentially bringing out another caution. But keep an eye on Brian and Justin Day, Steven Linger. As they exit pit road, they're getting those cars back up to speed. Remember, they are on cold tires, and someone better remind them of that, because those cold tires are going to be slick. Brian Day getting ready to get pressure to go a lap down by Christian Delgado. We're going to keep an eye on this. All it takes is one mess up. Could bring out the caution, and we've got a whole new race. Christian Delgado going to put Brian Day a lap down here. Day's going to keep it clean. Once these tires are warm, not quite as slippery for these cars. Currently only 7 cars on the lead lap. Christian Delgado leading the race. Seth LaCroix just a little bit faster. Yet again. But nowhere near fast enough to make up a 6-second deficit. Michael Jordan saying it is a nice green flag run. And yes, everyone has found their lines. A lot of clean racing. Still seeing a couple cars get loose here. Not like before. Checking back in with that 17 of Joshua Edmonds. Edmonds back up to 6th. And Dawson Price, we're not quite sure what is up with that 74. I did not see him given a black flag, but it appears that he may have been given one here. He was out front with Christian Delgado leading running second. But he has dropped all the way back to 10th, currently a lap down. Seems like a costly mistake on pit road for Dawson Price. Keep an eye here on Seth LaCroix and Tyler Street. Tyler Street is closing in here. Down to only 18 laps to go. And it looks like the race will be for second unless we get a caution that's going to shake some things up here. Street continuing to gain ground. He was about a 1/10 of a second faster last time by. Street fast for the last 5 laps. So he's faster there when they're running single file. We're about to see how they're gonna do side by side. Tyler Street is there. He's gonna stay to the high side as LaCroix goes low. Street gonna cross over. Seth LaCroix moves up to the top of the track. Street is there on the low side. They come up on lap traffic. Chris Jones going to stay up to the high side. Once again, Chris Jones, member of that old veteran racing team. He's going to stay up in front of Seth LaCroix, his teammate there. Or his old teammate. Motocross, we are sorry that you cannot stay the whole time, but we are going. Make sure you check back in later on YouTube or Facebook to watch the exciting conclusion of this one as we are down to 13 to go. We've got a battle shaping up back here. Samuel Reed getting ready to fend off Joseph Miller as they try and navigate the lap traffic. Mike Hill going to stay low, out of their way. Joseph Miller closing fast. Miller working that high line. They are now side by side. Oh, they touch. Miller's in the wall. Looks like Samuel Reed slid up the track there just a little bit. They are able to keep it straight, though. And Joseph Miller going to recover from that and take over 4th position here. That was almost trouble. That almost shook everything up. And the battle is back on for second. Seth LaCroix has gotten back in front of Tyler Street. Not sure what happened here. We got to go check in. We're down to just 10 to go. Checking back in here. Looks like Tyler Street just got slow coming off of turn 3 there. Or turn 4, I'm sorry. Seth LaCroix able to capitalize. Don't count out that 4 of Tyler Street, though. Tyler Street getting to the inside of Seth LaCroix, and he is looking to take back that 2nd place position. Now down to 7 to go. You see Tyler Street going all the way down the racetrack, trying to as short a lap as possible. And LaCroix getting the run off of turn 2. Tyler Street not able to get by him. And It looks like LaCroix has figured out that exit to turn 2 here late in this race. Down to 6 laps to go. Back in the pack, Samuel Reed and Joseph Miller going at it once again as well. But we're going to keep our eyes here on the race for second place. Christian Delgado, while all this is going on, Christian Delgado continuing to open up that lead. Now sitting at 9 seconds. I think LaCroix may have made contact with the wall. They're just a little bit going through 3 and 4. Tyler Street able to get by him. Down to 5 to go. Back in the pack, the battle is on for 4th place. Samuel Reed trying to get back by Joseph Miller. Reed working that low line. We just saw the low line work for Tyler Street. We're going to see if Samuel Reed can get back by him here as well. Now only 4 laps to go in this one. Oh, Samuel Reed sideways into the wall. Caution flies with just 3 laps to go. And that will shake things up. One more look at that caution. You see Samuel Reed. He just gets sideways, tries to save it, ends up going to the outside wall. Overcorrection there, trying to save it. That brings out the caution on lap 97. So Christian Delgado still your leader. Tyler Street in 2nd. Seth LaCroix in 3rd. Joseph Miller in 4th. Joshua Edmonds in 5th. We have got an exciting conclusion for you coming right after this. Now the question is, do you take tires? Delgado showing his speed on these tires. They're a little bit fresher than the likes of Seth LaCroix. Seth LaCroix, remember, he pitted early. Looks like Christian Delgado's going to take tires. Tyler Street going to take tires as well. It looks like all the lead lap cars going to try and get some fresh tires here. Delgado gonna win the race off of pit road. Honestly, I don't know about that move by the rest of the pack. You see the leader go down pit road. Yep. Yes, he is going to be on those fresh tires, but it is going to be a green-white checkered finish. You know, he's going to have to navigate the pack. Not enough time for these drivers to get those tires warm here. Tyler Street going to be restarting in 2nd. Seth LaCroix in 3rd. Joseph Miller in 4th. Tristan Haynes in 5th now. Joshua Edmonds at 6th. Brian Day in 7th. Still on pit road. Lights on the pace car are out. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing here, folks. And the pace car is off. We're going to try this one more time. Green flag is out. They are off. Christian Delgado going to take off. Tyler Street looking to get low, but Seth LaCroix is already there. Now Street's got the opportunity to get in front of Seth LaCroix. He does, but Delgado opening up that gap here early. They're already single file. You see Seth LaCroix moving to the outside line. That is not the move. He's going to go right back to the bottom here. And the white flag is out. Christian Delgado crosses the line. The next flag ends the race. LaCroix trying to get by on that high side. Not enough to catch back up to Tyler Street. Christian Delgado, your leader. LaCroix getting the pressure from Joseph Miller on the high side. Checkered flag is waving. Christian Delgado going to capture his 4th win here in the NORA Cup Series. Tyler Street comes home in 2nd. Seth LaCroix in 3rd. Joseph Miller in 4th. Tristan Haynes rounding out your top 5. What a finish. I think after seeing that restart, there's probably a lot of second guessing here on that pit strategy under that last caution, especially from the likes of Tyler Street and Seth LaCroix. The leader has such an advantage built in on these restarts by being able to control the restart. And that's what we saw Christian Delgado able to do there. He took off like he was shot out of a cannon. And no one was able to catch him as we're going to move over. Christian Delgado going to start the celebration here. As Delgado burns it down. We're going to go ahead and move on to our post-race interviews, starting with our 3rd place finisher, Seth LaCroix. Seth, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me? Seth, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, what's going on, Austin?
What is going on, man? Congratulations on a 3rd place finish here tonight. I've got to ask, though, when that last caution came out, what was going through your mind?
I was excited. I was like, because I was on the oldest tires by far, and I was like, I got a chance. But man, the leader has such an advantage now with the aero package they got, and just so tight behind cars. There wasn't a whole lot we could do. But I was also worried though that I was gonna get wrecked because I've had quite a few of those this season, both series where I'm get wrecked out in the last couple laps. So I was just glad to get a podium. It's been a minute, so.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've been up here in the booth, but you are back, and got to be happy about that. I've also got to ask, with the pit stops there, we saw Christian Delgado head down pit road. Are you maybe second guessing your strategy to follow him along with the rest of the field?
Oh, when I stayed out, are you talking about at the one
No,
point?
at that
Or
last caution, at the last
oh yes,
caution.
oh yeah. So for sure, once I saw them two go, I was like, well, crap. But I looked at my my last 5 lap average, and almost a second off the pace. So I didn't think I'd stand a chance there. If I didn't take tires. So I honestly thought third, if I could have had a better restart. I thought I could come out of turn 2 in second, and possibly get him. At least fight harder. But like I said, the arrow, it just makes you so tight. It's pretty rough, but overall it was a decent race. I absolutely nuked my tires. That's why I was the first one to pit road. Um, I was too aggressive on the middle run, and because I had fresh tires, and I absolutely destroyed them. I was losing so much time, so I was the first to pit, and I made up so much time. So that was good, but
But
overall good race. Been a pretty disappointing season, but almost over.
well, it's the regular season's almost over, but we still got the playoffs to look forward to. So kind of going to get a reset there and still a chance to run for a championship. So we'll be keeping an eye on you throughout the playoffs. But before we let you get on out of here, anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, it's my parents and watching my wife, my daughter's sick, so she's had her hands full during this whole race. So felt a lot of guilt sitting here doing this. So, but yeah, and thanks for you doing the broadcast as usual, and of course Apex, um, another good showing, good qual. So chipping away. Just the wins aren't stacking up, but we're always up there. So
All right. Well, we appreciate it, and we will let you get back to dad duty. Have a good night, buddy.
you too. Bye.
Thank you. Once again, that was Seth LaCroix coming home in third here tonight. We're going to move on to our second place finisher, Tyler Street Driver, the number 4. Tyler, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
I got you.
All right. Congratulations on a second place finish. How does it feel being able to battle it out with Seth LaCroix? We watched you guys go back and forth for what seemed like probably the last 20 to 30 laps. You were closing in with him, and you get to beat out Seth LaCroix for second there.
Yeah, it was a good battle. I caught up to him, and I really didn't want to push the tires like I was, but I just continued pushing a little bit more there than needed to, and then when I got by him the first time, I don't know what the heck happened. It was just like all of a sudden it like turned right on me there a little bit and got me sideways, and I don't know what the heck was that all that about. And but yeah, just happy to have another top 5 finish, another top 3 finish for sure.
All right. And we just talked to Seth LaCroix about that last caution as well. We are keeping an eye on the pit strategy there. What do you do in that situation with, with the old tires? I believe they were probably 30 laps old and it's hot here. Those tires are getting slick. You've gotten the opportunity to close that gap back up with Christian Delgado, and we saw the entire field pit when Christian Delgado pitted. Are you maybe second guessing that decision there?
No, I really didn't have the tires to last anymore. Basically, like Christian and Dawson did at first. There, I had better tires than both of them there when I pitted. Probably 13 or 14 laps later after they did at that one stint, and I could just keep watching them drive away from me on the relatives. So it was kind of more or less the same thing of when I saw those guys pit that it was time to pit, and I know the spotter said that I still needed to pit at least one more time to fuel up and make it the rest of the way. So that was kind of more or less of when I saw him pit that I'm like, okay, yeah, it's that time, and just kind of just ride it out basically for the rest of the race because I was really did not have anything for Christian or Dawson at all. So.
All right. Well, we appreciate your thoughts on it. We're going to let you get on out of here. Before we do, anyone you want to thank?
I gotta thank the LJR guys, and we're trying. Just a lot of frustration, and just got some little things that we got to fix here and there. Thank you for doing the broadcasts. You know, it's still cool to go back and kind of rewatch the broadcasts every week, or if I can't do it right away, I'll do it later on in the week for it, just to kind of go replay and see some things, what I mess up or anything like that. Because you can only do so much as a first-person view. The rest of it, you're kind of just looking outside the broadcast and kind of going it that way to look and see what's going on the races. Besides that, just got to thank Trell for doing the league. Not that many races left basically for the season of this, so trying to do one race at a time and just try to see if I can stay up top for the points or not.
All right. Well, we appreciate you again. We're going to let you get on out of here. Congratulations on second place finish. Have a good night, buddy.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. Once again, that was Tyler Street, driver of the number 4 car. And now it is time to talk to tonight's big winner, Christian Delgado. Christian, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you guys.
All right, man. Congratulations on yet another win. You were stacking these wins up like no one's business, and a rookie in the series. How does it feel?
Feels awesome. I mean, it sucked that I had to miss Talladega, but here in the Midwest, there's some stomach thing going around, and I was the unlucky one to get it. So I was in bed for really since like the 27th up until about 2 days ago. So I wanted to race Talladega, but couldn't. So I had to use my provisional there. But yeah, here at Chicagoland, it's one of my favorite tracks to race here on the service, and yeah, it was really fun, honestly. I know with the new updates, I know it's not been as fun when it comes to like the aero and trying to get around guys and stuff like that. But me and Dawson had a really good battle towards the first half of the race, and unfortunately, Dawson, I guess he said he didn't take fuel when he took that green flag pit stop, and unfortunately, that kind of derailed his race. Looks like he still got a top 10 out of it. But yeah, it was fun battling Dawson when me and him were up there, because it was honestly whoever had the lead kind of dictated the pace, because I was trying to get to him, but as soon as I got within a car length or two, I'd start to plow, and the car just didn't really want to go anywhere but the bottom for me. That when we first started the race, the track temp was like almost 110 degrees, and it was super slick and super slidey and really greasy. So it was hard to want to push the car to get the most out of it, because you saw at the beginning of the race some people are having issues. I presume out of 2, just losing it off the corner just because the track was so hot. But we went down and had that caution. I beat Dawson off pit road, and it was kind of smooth sailing from there. I feel bad for Dawson, like I said, for making that mistake, because I felt like if anybody had a run to get to me, it was him. And then there at the end, I did not want that caution to come out, but we were lucky enough to get a good restart and jump out ahead and make Tyler and Seth battle it out for that P2 spot. But happy to come out here and get another win. In my mind, kind of 4 in a row. I don't really count Dega because I wasn't there, but yeah, super fun race from these guys. I mean, at least racing up front, the racing's over super clean and competitive, and glad to come out here and get another one for everybody out here.
All right, and I've got to ask, when that last caution came out, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, I mean, there was a big sigh and not of relief. I was like, oh man, like I was half a lap away from taking the white, and I saw them all wrecking out. I was like, ah, you guys you couldn't wait like an extra 30 seconds. But yeah, it was definitely stressful, because I knew that, I mean, we'd ran what 30-ish laps on those I would say 30 laps for me on those tires, and I knew that staying out, I could have maybe held on, but I knew that initially I needed the pit, but I was kind of scared, because I knew most likely if I pit, someone was going to stay out to try to do what I didn't. But luckily everybody came down with me, and even then I took 2 thinking that someone else would take 2 with me, and no, everybody else took 4. So I was like, oh man, like did I just throw this away leading a lot of laps tonight, and they give it away on the last one? But like I said, I got a good restart, and luckily Tyler and Seth kind of battled out for the P2 spot and let me kind of get enough space to where I could just come in and get the win here. But yeah, it was definitely stressful seeing that caution come out, and green white checkers are always kind of spicy wherever we go. Everybody's trying to get those spots as many spots as they can there in those last 2 laps. And luckily, we kept the green there and only had to use that one up.
All right. Well, congratulations again. We're going to let you get on out of here and start the celebration. Before we do, anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, first of all, I got to shout out to primary sponsor of this scheme, High Velocity TV. Once again, if you guys are looking for a broadcasting network outside of a Rebel Racing Network, we were doing a lot of cool things now on the channel. And whether you're looking for a broadcast, whether you're looking to join the team as a commentator or a producer, or maybe even a graphic designer making some cool graphics for the network, we're looking for help. We're looking for initiative, and we're just kind of a small network just trying to get our name out there. But yeah, if you guys are interested in any work or anything from High Velocity TV, make sure to email us at hvtvbroadcasting@aol.com. Got to give a huge shout out to Andres Varez and Chase Crawl with the Delta Eagle Designs and CK Designs or CK Graphics for making this beautiful scheme. You know, I've had this scheme for well over a year, and this is actually the first time I've won in it. I've just had terrible luck in it. So thank you to those two for making it such a beautiful car. And you know, I wouldn't be running it so often if it wasn't amazing looking. But also got to give a huge shout out to the Bean team, Jeff, Matthew, Peter, Carter, everybody over there, Jackson, and everybody over at the Bean team for pushing me to be better and pushing me to do everything else. Got to give a huge shout out to like McLeod FFC and everybody in the HVTV server, Gavin, Tyler, Frank, Barb. You know who you are. There's so many people who I could think right now, but for pushing me to be the best person I can. And so I definitely couldn't do without those people. Got to give a huge shout out to Steel Car Detailing and for everything Titan's done for me outside of racing. Lastly, got to give a huge shout out to everybody over who runs the show here at NORA. You know, Tyrell and all the admins for not only running the Cup Series but also the ARCA Series. I know they're putting a whole lot of work into continuing to make this series go around and improve it and make these races more entertaining and just more fun for all of us drivers here. So definitely couldn't do it without all the admins who run NORA and make everything go around. But lastly, got to give a huge shout out to you guys over at Rebel Racing Network for once again putting on a phenomenal broadcast throughout the season. And like I said, I can't wait to go back, watch the broadcast, share it with friends and family, and just do some homework for next week as we continue to close in on the playoffs.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy. We're going to let you get on out of here. Have a good night. Congratulations again.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. You have a good night.
Thank you. All right, guys. Once again, that was Christian Delgado, driver of the number 13, taking home his 4th win. Utter dominance out of that 13 car here tonight. We're going to go ahead and run through our official results here. Once again, taking home the win was the 13 of Christian Delgado. Tyler Street comes home in 2nd. Seth LaCroix finishes 3rd. Joseph Miller in 4th. Tristan Haynes in 5th. Joshua Edmonds comes home 6th. Dawson Price finishes 7th. Justin Day in 8th. Brian Day finishes 9th. Samuel Reed in 10th. Stephen Linger finishes 11th. Mike Hill in 12th. Byron Gay finishes 13th. Stephen Blevins in 14th. Chris Jones comes home 15th. Terrell Wheeler in 16th. And Christopher Foote will round out your field in 17th. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in once again. Make sure you hit that like, follow, subscribe button wherever you are watching. Go check us out on Facebook if you are watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, go check out the YouTube. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, for the NORA ARCA Series live from Kansas Speedway for 100 laps. And then the Cup Series will be returning next Sunday night from Iowa for 150 laps. And stay tuned because the Third Coast Racing Xfinity Series will be coming back to us at the end of the month. We are still trying to lock down a day, but they are getting ready to fire up their recruiting races. So make sure you stay tuned for the announcement on that. And if you are interested in running the Third Coast Xfinity Series, make sure you reach out to Dakota Dennis or Marcus De La Garza over there on Facebook. Until next week, this is Austin Householder signing off. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.